All right, snow is falling and the winter is coming. Let's talk about snowblowers. This is the Eagle SNT2134 single stage snowblower. The 2134 is a kit with two included 6 amp hour batteries, and I believe the 2130 is the bare 2 version. It's new for last year. And for comparison, the one in the back, that's an Arian's compact track model. It's actually one of the smaller gas-powered 2-stage snowblowers with a 24-inch width and 223cc engine. It's the second smallest Arian's makes. The Eagle has a 21-inch clear width, a metal auger, and 2 plastic skid shoes adjustable on the bottom. It has a brushless motor that can be run on 1 battery only, but at a reduced power level. The reason I chose the metal auger over the rubber ones is because the metal one is able to chew through the compacted snow or wet snow much easier than a rubber auger will. It won't be able to clean down to the pavement as much as a rubber auger will. But for my purpose, be able to go through compacted snow is much more important than be able to clean down to the pavement. The handle on the Eagle can be folded, or it can be locked into 3 different positions. This is at the middle position right now. All the controls for the chute are up top at the handle. You can rotate the chute here 180 degrees. You can also tilt the chute with this, locking it into different detents. And once folded, it's actually quite compact. There are also additional controls up here. The heated handle, the headlight, and the Bluetooth. This is the starting button for the auger. You have to push this down before you pull the handle for the auger to start. And this is the control for the auger speed. The heated handle I've never used, because whenever I blow the snow, I use insulated work gloves, and I just never felt the need for the heated handle, even when it's cold and windy outside. The headlight. There are 4 LED headlights on this model. Two up here and 2 down there. It doesn't look really that bright, but it enables you to work at night. You can also set them to the flashing mode, which I would imagine increase your visibilities if you venture onto the road to clear the plow banks at night. The Bluetooth function allows you to connect it to the Eagle app. I've tried it once, and to be frank, it's quite pointless. You can say how much battery you have left, or you could just look down at the batteries. You can also tell a couple other things like how many hours the machine has been running, which I really don't need to know. This thing has pretty decent power. You can choose through the end of driveway snowbank. Eventually, it's definitely not as easy as the two-stage though. And if you push it too hard into compacted snow, you can still bog down the augers, especially if you're doing the full width instead of like half width or smaller. And you'll notice one thing on this side. Because the auger is driven with a belt by the motor, the side on this side is maybe 1.5 inches thick, which you would need to manually push into a compacted snow for the auger to make contact and to clear the snow, which increase the effort necessary if you were doing the end of driveway snowbanks. As mentioned before, this is the control for the auger speed. The faster it turns, the quicker it's going to drain the battery. At the slowest speed, I would say it's able to throw fresh snow about 5 feet. But unless you have a single width driveway with no obstruction on both sides, you're going to need more than that. So, for example, I have hedges on the side of my driveway that I need to throw the snow over. So I need both a height and distance for a higher auger speed at the expense of battery life. And from using it last year, I would say with the included two 6 amp hour batteries and 5 inches of snow on the ground, this can handle a driveway up to a 6-car size or 1,300 square feet. And once the snow is approaching 10 inches, it just becomes very hard to push the snow. And actually the limiting factor becomes how much traction you have on your foot. One thing to note with this model is that you can still start the auger with the handle folded. So, if you have toddlers around, it's probably a good idea after each use to push the battery release, to pop out the batteries, and completely disable the machine until you use it next time. So, how does it compare with the two-stage? I don't have an electric two-stage, so these are the two that I'm going to make the comparison on. The advantage is, of course, that it's light, it's compact. You can lift it easily with one person, and with the handle folded, you can fit it in the back of a small SUV, or even on top of a back seat in a sedan quite easily. And unless you have a truck, you're not going to fit the two-stage inside. So with this, I can just throw it in my car and go help other people. And the fact that it's light makes it very easy to maneuver. If I'm clearing next to cars, I can get very close to parked cars with this. I'm willing to go within a ½ inch of the car doors. But with a self-propelled two-stage, I'm staying at least 2 or 3 inches away. Also, on narrower walkways, this is much easier to turn and maneuver. It's also cheaper, much cheaper, about half the price of a comparable two-stage snowblower. And it's quiet. I can do it. I can do the snow blowing at late night or early morning without disturbing my neighbors. But I suppose that's the same thing if you had a battery-powered two-stage. And with the single stage, there's no maintenance. Other than just greasing the moving joints, there's nothing specific that you need to do. Like even if you want to, there's nothing for you to do. Whereas on a two-stage, with the gas, obviously, there's more things you need to, a lot more things you need to do. And even with a battery-powered two-stage, you still need to lubricate the wheel shaft, the auger shaft, and all that stuff, which does not even exist on a single stage. Obviously, it cannot handle nearly as much snow as a two-stage. It requires you to push the machine into the snow because it does not have self-propellant. So you have to consider how much traction you have on your shoes before you're unable to push the machine into compacted snow. Whereas on a two-stage, you just push a lever and it'll go. Like for example, last year, we had 2 back-to-back snowstorms and the snow was about waist deep at quite a few places. When I was using this to help other people, 2 fully charged 6 amp hour battery managed to clear a 3/4 car size before the both battery died. Whereas with the gas powered two-stage, it was able to clear about 14 to 1500 square feet. I don't remember if I gas stopped or not, but it doesn't matter because it takes 30 seconds to do. And it was a lot less effort with the two-stage compared with the single stage, because this has been completely manually pushed into snow and I was out of breath by the end. With that, I just pushed a lever and it burrowed itself into waist-high snow without a problem. And another thing I've noticed as far as single stage versus two stage are concerned is a single stage have a much smaller sweet spot. What I mean by that is, with a two stage, it doesn't really care what's on the ground. If it's loose snow, if it's powder, if it's wet snow, compacted snow, or too much or too little, it'll just scoop up everything and throw them out regardless. Whereas with a single stage, if it's too little snow, it barely throws them like less than 10 feet away. It doesn't matter what auger speed you set it on. And with too much snow, it just drains the battery very quickly and the motor bogs down too much. So, who is this for? I would say it's for somebody with not enough storage for a two-stage, or nowhere to store it all, because you can just lift it up, carry it inside, and put it in the basement when you're not using it. And if you have a smaller driveway, maybe 4 car or less, this thing's great. So I'm quite happy with the performance. I would use it for lighter snow and be able to throw it in my car to go help other people during a storm. And if I had limited space and a smaller driveway, I would be quite willing to live with only this.